Hello, guys. Welcome to this LinkedIn live session. My name is Miguel Sanchez, and I'm a data coach at Rockborn. And today I'm going to be in charge of this session. So please remember that for this session, we have some prerequisites. So please take a look on the notes here in the invitation for the live. And also that you can find it in the chat here in this video. So yeah, today we're gonna explore some concepts of prompt engineering. This is just gonna be an introduction, and this course or the subjects that we're gonna review today is part of the course of prompt engineer that our consultants gets during the training. So here at Rockmoon, we are an ATD company, which its mission is to bring diverse talent into the data and AI industry. And during the training program, we cover subjects related with data analytics, data science, data engineering, and AI. If you're interested in this kind of programs, please, I invite you to go to the website. And also, they're gonna be popping up some information here in the chat in case you would like to review it. So yeah, as part of Rockborn mission, we always try to keep the pace of the innovations in the market, and that's why we decided to introduce this program on AI. So yeah, we have introduced different modules to cover the different subjects and AI related. Some are prompt engineering, some also in developing solutions with AI. And as I mentioned before, this is just a taster of what the students or the consultants see during the program. With expansions of AI solutions like ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, and others, it's important to know the best practices to interact with them. And this is where prompt engineer comes to hand, because this is the way that is going to allow us to communicate effectively with these tools. So as I mentioned before, there are some prerequisites. Basically, we're going to be using Python for this. We're going to be using a Jupyter notebook that was also uploaded previously for this session. And the version of Python that I'm going to be using is 3.11. And the version, also the Jupyter notebook that I'm going to be using is on Visual Code. So yeah, it's going to be a walk-through session. So please follow me with the coding and so on. Also, as a prerequisite, you're going to need an API key provided by ChatGPT. Also, the link, it was sent previously. But again, you have some time now, if you haven't done it, to go and get it. It should take you 5 minutes, no more. And please save it somewhere, because it's just going to show it once. Then you need to save it somewhere, and then you're going to need to place it in a specific code, in a specific place in the code here in the Jupyter notebook. Also, there is a link over there that you can use to follow the different steps that you need to do in order to get the API. Don't worry, you don't need to provide any particular information regarding credit cards and so on. OpenAI allows you or gives you $5 credit. There is more. It's going to be more than enough for this session to go through. Also, the model that we're going to be using during the session is the ChatGPT 3.5. There are new models. Actually, I think on Monday a new model was released, and some of the concepts here or the information you're gonna see here are updated by February 2024. All of these subjects are changing every day, but again, you can find all the references here to find the newest information, specifically about token limits and prices. The outline for today, we're gonna go through. Before carry on, please feel free to send us any questions that you may have. Our team is gonna be monitoring them, and I'm gonna go through them in case you have any questions. The outline for today, we're gonna go through what is an LLM and a quick introduction of it. Then we're gonna go through the concept of tokens. These tools, so if you are aware about these subjects, they're always talking about the tokens and the limit of tokens of and this kind of solutions. So we're gonna see what actually a token means. As I mentioned before, we're gonna be using the ChatGPT 3.5 model through API calls. That's why you need the API key that's gonna be provided by OpenAI. And we're gonna start doing some testing over here. Then after evaluating how the API calls looks like in Python, or the output from these calls, then we're gonna go through the prompt engineering principles. Basically, we're gonna going through the principle of specify clear instructions, create a character, define an output. And I don't know if we're gonna have time, but we can also the objective is also to see how to create some random data with ChatGPT, and also how we can also do some translations on the data. This is using the combination of the the Python programming structures that we can also interact and embed with ChatGPT to create a little bit more complex solutions. We're gonna be using an example of summarizing or walking around, or using as an example of a summary of the movie The Godfather. Okay, so yeah, you can also find it over there, but please feel free to change it in case you would like to use any other example. So what are LLMs? Large language models are models that are trained basically with massive data sets. Imagine that these models have been trained in the entire internet, basically. They are very good to generalize because they learn the concepts hidden in the language, and they can be implemented in different solutions. They're also quite flexible because you can, given that they haven't learned all the concepts behind the language, they can be implemented in generate human-like text and answers, and nowadays even voice. They allow you to do some fine tuning. So you have this massive model that has been trained in the entire internet, and then you can also fine tune it with your own information. So this allows the companies to create, for example, chatbots and solutions that allows them to, for example, summarize also some documents and so on. And it has plenty of applications for the people that have been following these subjects. They started, for example, with chatbots, with content creation, and then they're also been implementing in solutions that technically or typically were just focused on machine learning. So, for example, sentimental analysis or topic analysis is also used. This one, language translation, and so on. And nowadays is the implementation of this kind of solution is growing every day. Now, how the large language models or LLMs works is just they guess the next possible word. Here we have an example in this side. Well, we have the cat is chasing that, and then because all the information that has been gathered, the model, or has been given to the model to train, it can guess statistically what is the best option for this phrase. So, for example, here we have dog, mouse, squirrel, boy, and house. And well, in this case, the word mouse is the one that has the highest possibility, 70% over here. So in this case, the model will say the cat is chasing the mouse. Okay, it's basically following that principle, but because it follows that principle, it also allows the model to understand the concept of all the corpuses that is being trained of. Now, what are tokens? Tokens are typically pieces of the text that's gonna be fed up to the model. Typically, the tokens are the length of 4 characters in English. That typically, also I say typically because we're gonna see an example of that. One word is more or less 3/4. Sorry, one token is 3/4 of a word. 100 tokens can be more or less 75 words. And this is important because this is the limit that you're gonna be able to send to the model. Here I have some numbers about the token limits on the different models. But as I mentioned before, this is changing every day. Here we see that we have 4,000 tokens, but nowadays I think it's 16K. And now the newest models, for example, Gemini from Google, it's also accepting 1 million tokens. So imagine you can, it's more or less like a 2 hours movie, full movie just sent to the model. The implementation of the API, it comes with some prices. As I mentioned before, we are using 3.5. It's the cheapest model on OpenAI, but allows us to create or to implement most of the solutions that we're gonna go through this. More or less, it charges you 5, I don't know what that's, pence or something like that, really low amount per 1,000 tokens. And then also the output, it is that amount what you're paying. Again, the prices, you can find it over there in case you would like to know more. And now it's also updated with the new model, ChatGPT 4.0, if you're interested in it. Now, how a token look like? I'm just gonna visit one of the links that is over there. So this is a link provided by ChatGPT. Where we can see what is a token. It's actually a token. So here we're gonna put any question or any text that you would like to analyze, and then you can guess how many tokens there are over here. So previously I just text like, what are the main attractions in London? And here, for example, you can see with colors, pretty nice, how the tokens has been, the phrase has been divided. We see that we have 8 tokens in this request to ChatGPT. And well, this is the request that you sent to ChatGPT. And then you also need to count the tokens that are coming back as an output. And looking at these colors, we can see that, yeah, the word what is 4 characters, so this is a token. But we can see that also the spaces are considered as a token, and are and the. And sometimes I said that sometimes, or most of the times, are 4 characters, but we can see that an attraction, the word attraction, it's itself a token. And also something curious over here, the question mark is also a token by itself. So yeah, this is a really nice tool for you to know what the concept of token is. And this is what is sent to ChatGPT, gets the different tokens, and then guess the answer of this particular question. So now, after this the explanation of the tokens, we're gonna go through the prompt engineering principles. Okay, I'm also as a reference, I'm following what is provided by ChatGPT, the prompt engineering website. Reference. You can find it over here if you would like to go through it, all the concepts over there. And to start a walkthrough, first we need to install the library from OpenAI. Okay, if you have done it previously, it should take, well, you don't need to do it. Give me 1 second because I need to take out my notes. They're over here. Yeah, cool. And then once we have this library imported, please ignore this piece of code because I'm extracting my API key from a local file. Okay, yeah, because of security reasons, I cannot show it here, guys. Sorry. But yeah, please, if you have the API key, just place it after this this variable over here. So you can place it just right on the left side of the hash. Please place it over there. Your API key should look something like this. It's a string of characters. To be honest, I haven't counted them, but it should look like that with a lot of uppercases, lower cases, and numbers. And then we're gonna import. Previously, we're gonna import the OpenAI library. And we're gonna declare a client, okay? This is a client that's gonna allow us to create or to make the connections to the API of OpenAI. And then to manage the connection, we need to pass this API key. As a good practice, as is mentioned in the documentation from OpenAI, please consider to create or to save this API key as an environmental variable. But by now, just for the sake of the exercises, you can just place it here as a value of a variable. So let's execute this. Oops, I'm getting an error. Not the best way to start, but yeah, let's just fix it really quick over here. So yeah, we have created our client. Now we're gonna have this function that is also there in the notebook that we sent in advance. Let's explore it really quick. The parameters that we're passing to it is the prompt. This is what we're going to be texting. We're going to be sending or asking to ChatGPT. Imagine that when you go to the ChatGPT web version, this is where you have the text area, and then you start typing. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing over here. Here is the ChatGPT. Then we have the model. As I mentioned, 3.5 turbo. You can also change it. If you're a little bit curious, you can change it to the new model if you want. It's a little bit more expensive. And then we have the temperature. Temperature allows us to more or less, it says that allows us to play a little bit with creativity of the model. This number goes from 0 to 1, 0 being more static, let's say, not that creative, but then in other parts of this course here at Rockpoint, we play a little bit with this particular value, but this in this case we're gonna set it in this. We're gonna keep it with 0. Then we have the message over here that is formed by the role, user, content, and the content we're gonna use the prompt. Here, for example, is a Python list with a dictionary in it. And yeah, I won't stop here much because otherwise it's gonna make it quite difficult. But yeah, we're gonna be using this structure for our queries. So let's start with our first prompt or our first request to ChatGPT. So for that, we can say something. We're gonna create a variable called prompt, or called prompt, and we're gonna say, let's say, what is the capital of England? Okay, so that will be the question that we're gonna send to ChatGPT. Okay, and we're gonna save the response in a variable called response. We're gonna use our function that we have there above, and then we're gonna send the prompt. Okay. I execute this, and you see it took almost a second. What I have actually done in this line in this cell is to send the question, the prompt or the question to ChatGPT, and then come back, and then it has answered me with a data structure. Okay, now let's take a look at that answer. So if I take this variable and I just print it over here, I have it there. So this is actually the answer that we get from ChatGPT. It looks quite weird, no? We have completion chat, we have choices, and if we take a look on this, we see that message, chat completion message, and we have the content. We see here in content the capital of England is London. Nice. This is the part that we actually want, no? This is the bit that we are actually looking to isolate, let's say. But yeah, there are many things over here. Most of these are control data provided by ChatGPT. For example, when it was created and so on, what model was used. And something also interesting over here is the completion. For example, the prompts of this token were 14. And the answer that it was the capital of England is London is actually 7 tokens. And in total, this query or this request, we use 21 tokens. Okay, so it's also good to know to monitor also your expenses. Maybe you want to have this somewhere on the side just to control your requests. You have reached your token limit. Sorry, I'm going through the questions. Yeah, try to. Did you get? Well, let me know from the question if you got this answer after the response, please, and then I can monitor from there. It might be your API key. Maybe you can request a new one. You can create another project in OpenAI and create a new one. Or you might have used also all your tokens. I don't know if you have done something with any other solutions with the API. But yeah, please let me know if that helps. Now, to isolate the response, we can do response.choices. This is gonna be a list, And then from here, we can extract the message and we can have the content. Okay. And then with that, we said the capital of England is London. So yeah, in this way, we have seen that the actual answer from ChatGPT is more complex than what we get in the web version, for example. We can track how many tokens we use and so on, the model that was used, and another control variables over here. And because we know that, at least for this practical, this is the part of code that we are looking for or we're interested in, then we're gonna change a little bit our function that allow us to connect to ChatGPT. So the only thing that changed between the previous function and this one is the response area. Here I'm getting all the response, and in this part I'm just isolating the bit that I'm interested in. Okay, that is the message to content. So if I test it again, I'm just gonna copy the exactly the same that we have over here, just to test that it is working. I can put just the response over here. And we have isolated the piece, the part of the answer that we're interested in. Okay, good, excellent. Now we're gonna go through the. Now that we know how the answer from ChatGPT looks like, we can start implementing the principles of prompt engineering. So we're gonna start with the write clean instructions. So this is the first principle that we're gonna explore. Then use the limiters, especially we're gonna be analyzing different pieces of text and so on. We're gonna use the limiters. The options of the limiters is like triple double quotes, triple single quote, and so on. It's up to you to decide which one is gonna use. Just be consistent and tell the model what kind of delimiter you're using. We're gonna see an example of that. We're gonna also adjust the answer and provide context. So yeah, we're gonna, for example, say, give me a summary of particular text, and but just in 10, 20 words. And we're gonna validate if that was the case. We're gonna also provide a context. We're gonna adopt a character. We're gonna define and specify the output. This is actually very, very, very helpful. And we're gonna create random data. Okay. Now, let's go to the first principle. So, for example, we're gonna start with the use delimiters to clearly indicate distinct parts of the input. As I mentioned before, we're gonna be using a description of the Godfather movie. This was here. You can find the source for it. I invite you. I'm gonna give you some time to go over there. Try to just select a different movie. You might, I don't know, like another Star Wars movie or something like that. But yeah, you can find it here already. I already filled it up for you in case you just want to follow up the example with the Godfather, for movies from the 1972, a classic. So the text looks like this. Okay, basically, you can see that. This is basically a synopsis of the movie, and we're gonna be working with it. Now we have this synopsis. Let's specify the right specified instructions for this. So we're gonna be using the prompt, and for this we're gonna be using a function from Python for to manipulate strings. And here I'm gonna do some summarize the text delimited by triple backticks into a single sentence. Dot. And then here I provide the triple backticks, and then I specify text with curly brackets. Text. Okay, so that's gonna be our prompt. Let's take a look how we haven't sent it to ChatGPT yet. Let's take a look how it looks like. So yeah, it says summarize the text delimited by triple backticks into a single sentence, and then we provide this the synopsis of this movie. Okay. So yeah, we have to specify the instructions, and also provided the text in or using delimiters for this. Now, let's get the response for that. Response equals to get completion, and then we send the prompt. We have seen the value of the prompt already. I'm gonna add a new cell over here. So I'm gonna execute this piece of code. I took it 1.5 seconds. Let's see the response. And now we get the response. Okay. The text describes a film adaptation of Mario Puzo's novel, The Godfather. If you're curious enough, please take a look at on the text. I never mentioned this was The Godfather, and the model actually guessed it, right? And it says it has a powerful character development and so on. So, for example, if you start playing a little bit around with the temperature, this kind of answers might change. If you keep it at 0, they might stay the same. It's important also here to mention that we might not get the same answers every time that we run this. Now, let's give it adjust and give it some context regarding the text that we're gonna send, and also adjust the output by limiting the number of words. So to do that, I'm gonna say the prompt. I'm gonna equals to write a movie description based on the information provided in the movie synopsis by triple backticks. And then we're gonna limit the output. Use at most 40 words. It says movie synopsis and then we add the triple backticks and the text. Again, let's take a look on the prompt. So this is what we're gonna send to ChatGPT. Write a movie description based on the information provided in the movie synopsis by triple backticks. Use at most 40 words, okay? Let's send it now. I'm just gonna take the code that I have over here, okay? And let's add another piece, another line over here, just to validate the outputs. Okay, 1.5 seconds. Let's see the output from ChatGPT. Okay, a gender-fine mafia, epic with powerful character development, familiar for game performance. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit different than the previous one. It has been limited by the amount of words that I gave. But let's validate, because I remember then when I started using ChatGPT, the early versions of 3.5, it wasn't the best just following these kind of instructions. So we can validate the amount of words that are in this particular response. Yeah, it's 30 words. Okay. So pretty good. It followed the instructions that we gave it. That used at most 40 words. Now it's gonna be using just, well, according to this, the answer was just 40. Now we can explore the next concept or the next principle of prompt engineering. That'll be adopt a character. Okay. So for this. Like here you can change it. You can say like, I don't know, like Yoda or like Darth Vader. I decided to do it as a rapper. Okay, So I'm gonna take just the same structure that we have over here, just to not type it again. And I'll say write movie description based on the information provided in the movie description delimited by triple backticks. Yeah. And I'll say do it as a wrapper. Visual Studio keep sending me this. Do it as a wrapper, and then I say movie description, triple backticks. I'm just gonna take it from here. And then we can run it. Good. I'm just gonna send the response. I just take this one from here. And I'm gonna show the outputs also in the same query. So yeah, it shows here, maybe it's not printed in the best way. Let me see if I add a print response. Yeah, looks better, okay? So if you want to wrap it, please feel free to do it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to listen to you. But yeah, here you can see that we can also impersonate some different characters, and then the model is gonna adjust or adapt to this. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions during this during the session. Now we can also define the output of the prompt. Sorry, of the response. Sorry, not the prompt. We can define the output of the format. So for the next exercise, I would like to get the output as you see it over there. I would like to ChatGPT to analyze the text that I'm providing to it and to give me the number, the actor name, sorry, the number of the actor name, and also the character that he performed during the movie. Okay, so we can also but instruct ChatGPT to provide the output as we expected. So for that, we're gonna use prompt equals to, remember it's the same structure. Give me 1 second, let me just remove this. And we say it is function, then you will be provided with a text delimited by triple backticks. Sorry. If it contains description, extract the list of actors involved and list them in the following format. We have actor 1, then the name of the actor, we can define it like that, and then a character. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna say actor 2, and I'm gonna add some dots over here, and then actor N. Okay, and then I'm gonna send the text. That is the description of a movie. It's this one over here. I'm just gonna take all of this. Yeah. So yeah, in this way, I'm telling ChatGPT, please extract the information of the actors. Actually, I'm also defining here a rule that it says if it contains a movie description, we can say also given the option that says if it's not a movie description set, not movie description provided, or something that we would like to the model to answer in case the information is not a movie. Here we have defined the output, how we want to see it. So we can have the actor, the name of the actor, and then the character, and so on, two, and then n actors, just in case there are more than two. And then we're gonna pass the movie description. I'm gonna add one line over here just to print it. When I'm adding new lines and not running the query again or running the cell again and then adding the print over here, because that's gonna cost me another call. Okay, every time that I run these pieces of code, especially every time that I run or execute the get completion command, that's an additional use of tokens. So that's why the response is already there. I just can call it in a different way. So yeah, here you can see that the model has gone through all the text that was provided to it, and then it was placing the different actors in that were performing over there, and also providing the characters. Okay, very, very interesting stuff over here, how you can manipulate data. Sorry, well, yeah, and at the end, this is data, it's text, but it's also data. Okay, good. Now, I think we're gonna go through the creating random samples of data, and that will be the last exercise over here. For this, I would like to create a data set that for a vet hospital. Okay, and then I wanted to provide the name of the pet. Sorry, it seems like something happened near to Wimbledon, so that's why there are a lot of ambulances. So yeah, I would like to model to provide the pet name, the dog, well, the pet type, the date of birth, the owner name, the breed, and so on. This it can be helpful in case you would like to run some tests and so on, and you cannot find a particular database. Yeah, this is also helpful to use ChatGPT for this purpose. So we're gonna say prompt equals to f for a vet's hospital, generate a sample of 10 made up pets data specifying pet name, pet type, date of birth, owner name, breed, race, allergies, and a description of the pet. And as we can see over here, the format is not longer text. Well, it's text at the end, but we changed it a little bit to provide the output in a way that is more manageable from the point of view of data, and that we can transform it later as a JSON format, for example. So we can do that here. We set provide the output as a JSON format. Okay. Let's take a look on this. I'm gonna just get this over here. Give me 1 second. I'm getting some errors over here. Let me just check the prompt. There was prompt. Yeah, I needed to add 1p over here. Yeah. Otherwise, it was just getting the previous prompt. Let's give it some time. It's taking longer than expected. Might be a lot of people accessing the API. There we go, over there. Yeah. So yeah, it has created all the data over here. So for example, this is a Labrador Retriever. Max is a friendly dog, energetic dog who loves play fetch. Whiskers, also nibbles, and so on. And then we can also play a little bit. Now that we have this data on Python, in a JSON format, we can try to manipulate it in a way that is easier for us to analyze, let's say. So for that, I can make a pandas JSON, import pandas in JSON over here. And you already have the code, the code over here for the part of to create the output. This might change a little bit depending on I'm not using response docs, I'm using response. So it just changes bit to be response normal. That's it. And it should work now. Now we can see that this is already a pandas data frame. Here we can save it as a CSV file. We can send it to a database. We can analyze it, and we can do some transformations if needed. As part of the exercises here, Rockbomb, for example, we translate each of the descriptions to other languages, again, with ChatGPT. And well, these were some of the implementations of the API in ChatGPT and exploring some of the principles of prompt engineering. There is a lot of information regarding this subject, and I would recommend you to go through the main official channels of ChatGPT. The links that were posted above. And if you're interested in the Rockbomb program, please feel free to visit the website. And also, they're gonna send the link over here in the chat, and let us know if you have any questions. Okay. So yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can implement, this is just providing you the baseline of how to interact with ChatGPT, how to connect, how to manipulate a little bit the information. But it has a lot of potential implementation, especially from the background if you want to summarize data, if you want to create apps that can summarize stuff. And so on, or even creating chatbots. That's also another example that we see here in the prompt engineering module in Rockbomb. By the way, all the images were made in DALL-E 3, so everything was made with AI over here. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Thank you, Cameron. Yes, you can adapt the model. For example, I'll show you where to do that. Here, as part of the role user, there's also a role. One of the keys is called system, where you can predefine roles, for example, or also data that you want to use, that your model is going to use, like kind of pre-learning or pre-set up variables, let's say. So, for example, you want to make a really simple chatbot in a system area here in where I'm highlighting. It's not here because this was a simple exercise, but there's also one key called system when you provide all the context to ChatGPT to answer. Okay, and you can the model that we're using is just answer question and answer. There are another part of there's another variable over here that is I think it's called when you have an active chat, so you keep the history of all the interactions with that particular agent of ChatGPT, for example. So yeah, you keep the story and you pass it as a context to ChatGPT in order to answer and to remember previous questions. There is a nice test that you can do. For example, you say, "My name is Miguel. Please tell me about London," and then you start making another conversation, and then you ask the agent about what was my name, and if it replies back, and then that says that it's saving the history of all the interactions with it. Okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Let us know if you have any questions. We wish you an amazing day. Okay, see ya.